How do I want to start this? Hey guys, welcome to, I guess this is like my third moto vlog type of thing. But I think I'm gonna call this one like things to expect when you first start riding motorcycles or something like that. If I come up with a better title, then I guess you'll already have seen that. So anyway, so some of the first things that I noticed when I was riding is that, especially the first like 5 times that I got on this bike, I was just deathly afraid to ride it. Like every time I would sit on it, I would think that this could be like the last time that I ride, or that something bad was gonna happen. And I mean, I guess riding motorcycles is a little bit more dangerous than just doing everyday stuff, but I really like riding, and I guess for me that outweighed, you know, the danger factor. I don't want to live my life, you know, not doing stuff I enjoy. So, you know, it's kind of a reason why I decided to ride. And, you know, that fear of every time I would get on the bike, that probably happened for the first maybe 5 or 6 rides. And then once I started getting familiar with the roads and with just the bike in general, that did start to go away. And not to say that I don't, you know, have, you know, a healthy amount of caution when I'm riding, but just that general like fear of riding kind of went away to some extent. But that's definitely something that I've heard other people kind of have too when they first start learning, is they just have this sense of dread, and this like, it's almost like a kind of like an excitement in a way, you know, like it's just like a healthy amount of fear and caution. So, you know, that's something that is, I think, completely normal and to be expected when you first start riding. Alright, so the second thing that I noticed when I first started riding was just how much gas, or how often I go to the gas station. It is like a crazy amount. I feel like I'm going to the gas station almost every single day that I ride. And even though bikes typically get, you know, like 40 to 50, 60 miles per gallon some of the time, the tanks are just so small that, you know, it's not that hard to, you know, ride like 100 miles and then you're suddenly empty again. Going to the gas station is definitely going to be something that you'll frequently be doing. So another thing you'll notice when you start riding is having a storage option on a motorcycle is like a huge luxury, and not every bike has the ability to have like racks on the side, or, you know, carry a lot of cargo with you. So definitely your errands you're going to be running are going to be severely limited by how much you can carry on your back most of the time. So I typically ride with a backpacking style backpack, which isn't the best because it has straps all over it and it's not aerodynamic at all, and it's just flapping its way in the wind all the time. But it can at least carry like a couple days worth of groceries, which is really all I need. So that's what's been working for me. But, you know, I definitely recommend getting some like pannier bags or something that if you need to run errands and take the bike out, that you can actually carry your stuff around. I guess we can talk about another thing. If you live in like a colder climate, you are going to be experiencing a lot of fog in your visor if you wear a full face helmet. Every time I come to a stoplight, I have to lift up my visor because it will just get super foggy within like 1 or 2 breaths. So another thing I experienced when I first started riding was just how much different the sense of speed is when you're riding a bike. It is like, compared to a car where you just can sit there and, you know, just, it doesn't really feel any different. You can be sleeping in the back seat of a car that's going like 100 miles per hour, but the sense of speed on a motorcycle is completely different than when you're in a car. It is like 35 miles per hour. When I first started riding, felt like I would never be able to go faster than that, just because of the wind and the sound and all of this craziness. It just feels so much different than when you're driving a car. So I learned to ride with earplugs. That helps a lot. Riding with earplugs definitely takes the sound down a lot, so you kind of are muting some of your senses so it doesn't seem as crazy when you get going up to those speeds. But another thing, especially when you're riding a naked bike like this MT-03, is you don't have a windscreen, so there's nothing in front of you to block the oncoming wind. So if you've ever stuck your hand outside of a car window when you're on the freeway, it just yanks your arm off. So imagine if you put like your whole upper body outside of the car. It's an insane amount of wind, and it can be just like kind of pelting your body at times. So you definitely build up those muscles in your core to keep your body stabilized when you're riding like that. Let's just go for it. So yeah, wind noise, wind speed, wind effect in general is just, it is crazy how much the wind can like affect your body. So the next thing would probably be riding fatigue. And the fatigue can come from, just your hands getting sore from holding the throttle in open position, or, just your core being sore from sitting, or even just your mental state. Just riding takes a lot of focus, and if you kind of doze off, when you're driving, or during the day, if you can't focus, riding is probably not a good idea, because you have to be as sharp as you can be for the entire ride, because one mistake is pretty much the difference. So something that you need to get used to is learning how to manage your fatigue. And if you start to get tired, you want to stop and take a break, and you just want to make sure you don't ride when you're not really feeling like it. Oh, fucking signal. That's another thing. New riders always leave their signal on for too long and just forget about it, because you can't really hear it, and you don't really look down at your dash that often. That was a nice little breakfast.